Hello everyone, Giltar here with a video response to rrobbert184's recent review of the non-scale Tengen Kado Gurren Lagann, a model by Kotobukiya. First of all, I just want to say thank you to rrobbert184 for doing that review because, as normal, it was a great review. Covered all the points of the model from instructions, runner layout, the model kit itself, the details and everything. So a thoroughly enjoyable and informative review as always, so thank you very much for doing that. And also it was great to see rrobbert184 move beyond Gundam and Bandai products to expose his audience to something a little different. So that was just really enjoyable. Now secondly, the real sort of meat of this video response will really deal with my opinions of Kotobukiya, because unfortunately with the flaws that the Gurren Lagann kit has, it seems that rrobbert184 does not intend to really get back into the Kotobukiya product lines anytime soon, if at all. And that is a shame because, unfortunately, while first impressions are important, his first impression of Kotobukiya was done with a mediocre product at best. In my opinion, and this is no excuse. I mean, I'm not saying the Gurren Lagann products are terrible, but from what I've seen through my own experience with the Gurren Lagann information, like I've seen their instruction and layouts of the model kits through delong.net, that website. The Gurren Lagann line really seems to be a mediocre product line that really is banking on the product or franchise name, brand name of Gurren Lagann, which is very popular, and people will buy into it regardless of possibility of bad products. Now, Kotobukiya is like any other company; they just want to make money, so I can understand that. I'm not even here to even say, boo, Kotobukiya, don't try to make money. But I am trying to point out that the Gurren Lagann line was perhaps not the best way to get initiated into Kotobukiya, because the Super Robot Wars line, for example, which I have 3 models here, are vastly different. Similarly, they are highly priced, and in some ways overpriced. For example, with the R1 model kit here, it came out in June, or rather December of 2006. Very poor quality product because the number of parts creates a very unstable, loose, and frankly fragile feeling figure. However, the R2 powered here, which came out in May of 2007, so 5 months later or so, very solid, stable, and surprisingly are posable action figure for the design. The bulk of this model, it can actually strike some decent poses for what it is, and so that's one example of improvement and difference, in fact, between the model lines. And then finally we have the Art one here, which came out in July of 2009. Now, this is a really expensive product, 4,800 yen, about $50 American, but it's an extremely tight and solid model kit. And in fact, I would say it's at least on par with a master grade Gundam model kit from Bandai. And I would say in some ways it's even more solid and stable. And also consider that the model kits that Kotobukiya creates generally have a high part count. With the Art 1, the lower leg portion consisted of over 25 separate components. That's a lot of parts to put together, and for what I got in the end, the lower leg here is extremely stable and solid. I mean, it's no different from a Bandai high-grade Universal Center or even master-grade lower leg, where you have a relatively solid feeling structure. That's one example of a different approach from Kotobukiya in one of their product lines. Another example would be the Armored Core model kits. Very highly detailed, and again, extremely high in terms of part count. The arm itself here, for example, the arm consists of over 50 separate components. Now, it's not as stable as the Art 1, but it's by no means a fragile model. The main weak points are that there are some parts that you have to glue on according to the instruction manual, and just a poor design, for example, on the wrists. But aside from that, it is overall a solid model. And in this model kit, I think that you're actually paying for design. You're paying for the level of detail and the unique aesthetic found in the Armored Core model kits, or rather Model Core franchise. You're getting a highly sort of mechanical and industrial design influenced mecha design. So for people who want something different, Kotobukiya can also offer not only decent products, but something that is something that Bandai can't offer. The thing with Bandai is that they're a safer company, they're a mainstream company, and they have established franchises that they're not going to take a lot of risks with. They can't. They're a big company. They're accountable to people that help their company, like shareholders. And so there's a level of there is a sort of a level of product style that they're expected to maintain. Even when they dip outside of the Gundam, model kit lines, for example, you can look at the 1 to 20 scale Armor Trooper Votoms lines, like with their scope dogs. They're essentially master grade model kits. You're not getting that much difference in terms of product design there as opposed to a master grade Gundam. You can look to the 1 to 72 scale Macross Frontier VF25 and VF27 models, and which again are very similar to master grade model kits. So the good thing about Bandai is that they have consistency, and even though you're dipping outside of franchises, you're getting very similar things. You're not getting a lot of variety in terms of product design. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because for someone like myself, I like a variety in whatever I do, a variety of options. So that's why I branched out into Kotobukiya, and I'm pleasantly surprised by what I found. I mean, my first exposure to Kotobukiya was the R1, and I was really let down by it. And if you watch my review, I had a hard time trying to justify any part of it. I came down to saying I like the design of the product, but that's for me. I even said for the average person, this is a really pedestrian design, and aside from that, I mean, there's really nothing worthwhile in this model. So it's not by any means that I'm a Kotobukiya fanboy. I am a Kotobukiya supporter as much as I am a Bandai supporter. I'm a supporter of companies that can offer products that I enjoy. So I like that. I'm not against them. At the same time, I really hesitate to say that any one company should. I really, for example, I really dislike brand loyalty. I don't see the point in that. A brand does not deserve loyalty from me because it's not an individual which I can trust and invest my emotions into. A brand is run by a company which is made up of multiple individuals with the intent of running a business. It's not like they're doing me any favors. It's a demand and supply. It's commerce. I'm making a transaction. They give me something I want. I give them something they want. I want a model. They want money. It's as simple as that. So that's why I'm trying to bring in some alternate perspectives into this, because I don't want to sort of speak against rrobbert184's review, and it's not that he's sort of saying Kotobukiya is bad. He's just saying, in his opinion, he is not going to really get into Kotobukiya anymore due to what he's found in the Gurren Lagann model kit. But at the same time, I do feel that it's important to offer a different view, because rrobbert184 is an influential person here at YouTube for the Gunpla community. He has a lot of exposure, and he will influence a lot of people. And I do know that there are quite a few younger Gunpla enthusiasts, and I would hate for them to have the impression that they should stay away from Kotobukiya or any other companies and stick with Bandai or any one specific brand due to a certain experience with a certain product or product line. Kotobukiya especially is something that offers varied experiences in their products. You're not going to get the same thing out of a Armored Core model as you would a Super Robot Wars model, or a Gurren Lagann model, or a Virtua On model, or a Zoids model, or any other models that they make. There are going to be differences. So don't stay away from something just because of a negative experience with one thing. I mean, with Bandai, for example, you're not going to judge a poor product there and say, well, that consists of Bandai's offerings, right? You're going to say, well, what else do they have to offer? I mean, look at Bandai's VF100 Macross Frontier action figures. They pretty much suck because they're total parts formers, and for their size, I mean, as an example, there's really no excuse for it. So if a person comes across a VF100 Valkyrie and says, this is something I really don't like, therefore Bandai is a company that can only make products of this sort, would be an extremely narrow-sighted view, and it would deprive that person from experiencing all the other good things that Bandai has to offer. Similarly, with Kotobukiya, I would urge people not to be swayed significantly by the bad product of the Gurren Lagann, the Tengen Kado, because it really is a bad product, but it by no means represents the company's ability to create products. So that's pretty much my video response. I hope you guys consider what I have to say. Again, it's not about defending, but I just want to sort of clarify some points about Kotobukiya for everyone's consideration. So thank you for watching. Thank you again to rrobbert184 for showing us something a little different. And I hope he continues on doing so in the future and just try something else and change things up for us. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Until next time, everyone.